What's up, everyone? And today I'm bringing a deck profile of my Ghostricks. Now, Ghostricks is a very interesting deck profile that it's a flip deck, but not like an actual flip deck in a way. Like they're not flip monsters, but they do have flip effects. And without further ado, let's just get right into it. First off, I run 3 Ghostrick Lantern. Now, Ghostrick Lantern is pretty cool. Essentially, now all of the Ghostricks, they cannot be normal summoned unless you control a Ghostrick monster. And Lantern, once per turn, you can change this card to face down defense position. And all the Ghostricks have that additional effect as well. So the normal summon restriction and the ability to turn themselves face down, that's something that pretty much all the Ghostricks have. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, or when a Ghostrick monster you control is targeted for an attack, you can negate the attack, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand in face down defense position. So, Lantern is kind of like one of your hand traps, much like Ghostrick Mary. So Ghostrick Mary, you can discard this card, special summon one Ghostrick monster from your hand, and that's when you take damage you can activate that effect. I run 3 Ghostrick Jingashi. Jingashi, when this card is flipped face up, you can add from your deck to your hand one Ghostrick monster whose level is less than or equal to the number of Ghostrick monsters you control. So usually it would be like maybe 1 or 2, which, even if it's just 1, he's still getting to your Lantern and Mary. Next, I run 2 Ghostrick Siren. Siren, if this card is normal summon or flip face up, you send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Then, if either was a Ghostrick card, you can apply this effect, add 1 Ghostrick spell track from your deck to your hand. Or, change 1 effect monster your opponent controls to face down defense position. So, this book can essentially become like a bunch of Book of Moons. Also got 2 Ghostrick Fairy. When this card is flipped face up, you can target 1 Ghostrick card in your graveyard, set that card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Then you can change face up monsters your opponent controls to face down defense position up to the number of set cards you control. Also run the 2 Ghostrick Doll. If this card is flipped face up during the end phase, change as many face up monsters on the field as possible to face down defense position. Then you special summon 1 Ghostrick monster from your deck in face down defense position whose level is less than or equal to the number of monsters flipped face down by this effect. Also run the 1 Ghostrick Skeleton. Skeleton, when this card is flipped face up, banish cards from the top of your opponent's deck face down up to the number of Ghostrick monsters you control. So that can be kind of good, really depending on what deck you're going of. If it's like a combo deck, then that could be very good. If not, then it probably won't matter too much. Also run the 1 Ghostrick Mommy. When this card is while this card is face up on the field, you can normal summon 1 Ghostrick monster in addition to your normal summon. That's definitely pretty good because if you have multiple Ghostrick in hand, sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to get them all to the field. And Mommy will definitely help with that. Also run 3 Ash Blossom and Joy Spring for my hand trap. Moving on to the spells, I run 3 Ghostrick Parade. Monsters cannot attack face down defense position monsters, but can attack directly if all monsters their opponent controls are face down defense position. Also, your opponent takes no damage. And when an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can add 1 Ghostrick card from your deck to your hand. And that's not once per turn, so if they choose to attack directly, which they're pretty much going to be forced to, then you can just keep adding Ghostrick cards. Also run the 1 Ghostrick Museum. Museum's got the same protection as Parade, but at the end of the damage step, change the monster that inflicts battle damage to a player during this battle to face down defense position. Also run the 3 Ghostrick Shot. Shot, you can special summon 1 Ghostrick monster from your hand or graveyard, then you change 1 face down Ghostrick monster you control to face up attack position, which will activate this effect. You can also banish this card, and you can attach 1 Ghostrick card from your graveyard to an XYZ monster as material. Both are pretty good, but the first effect is the better of the 2. Also run 3 Book of Taiyu. Considering this is a deck where you want to flip your monsters up, and oftentimes you're just going to set 1, then use the effect to flip the face up. Then you can start normal summoning or special summoning other Ghostrick monsters. And Book of Taiyu will definitely help out with that. Moving on to traps, I run 2 Ghostrick Treat. Ghostrick Treat, if you control a Ghostrick field spell or a Ghostrick Link monster, you try 1 face up monster your opponent controls. Pay 2,000 life points to make this card's effect, or your opponent can pay 2,000 life points to make this card's effect. Set that card instead of sending it to the graveyard after activation. Otherwise, for the rest of this turn, that face-up monster cannot activate its effects. And it's changed to your face-down defense position during the end phase. So essentially, either their monster effects gets negated, or they pay 2,000 to set this face down. Also run 3 Ghostrick Scare. Scare, you target any number of face-down defense position monster control, change them to face-up defense position, then count the number of Ghostrick monsters among them, and if you do, change that many face-up monsters your opponent controls to face-down defense position. So usually you'll probably get about maybe 1 or 2, that really depends on how many Ghostricks you have. Also run the 1 Ghostrick Go Round. Once per turn during the battle phase, you can activate one of these effects. You can either target Ghostrick monster control, change that target to face-down defense position, and if you do, change one face-down defense position monster your opponent controls to face-up attack position, or the reverse. Target a face-down defense position monster you control, change it to a face-up attack, and your opponent's to a face-down defense position. A little bit of a disruption. Also run the 1 Ghostrick Renovation. You target 1 Ghostrick field spell in your field zone, return to the hand, then you can activate a field spell directly from your hand or deck. Then you can banish this card from your graveyard to target 1 Ghostrick XYZ monster control, special summon from your extra deck 1 Ghostrick XYZ monster with a different name by using that target as material. So this really helps like getting more materials into your Ghostrick XYZ monsters, and for one of them, that could be the difference between winning or losing the game. Also run 3 Infinite Impermanence to kind of just help negating my opponent's monster's effects. Moving on to the extra deck. I run 3 Ghostrick Festival. Festival is pretty cool because the cool thing with this, you can also use a face-down Ghostrick monster control as material to link summon this card, which is the only card in the game that can do that. I was hoping for something that would maybe allow us to flip Link's face down, but fortunately we didn't get that. Although if we had something like that, that would be pretty good. And while a Ghostrick card is in the field zone, your Ghostrick monsters can attack directly. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can tribute this card, special Ghostrick monster from your deck in face-down defense position. And it's a link 1, so it's very easy to get out. You just gotta set 1, link it away. Also run the 1 Apollosa. For the XYZ monsters, I run 2 Ghostrick Angel of Mischief. You can also XYZ summon this card by using a Ghostrick XYZ monster control as material. And this has a cool effect. When the number of materials on this card becomes 10, you win the duel. And once per turn, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card, add a Ghostrick spell trap from your deck to your hand. Now, the winning a duel effect is going to be very hard to get. Like, I guess you probably could get it, but it's very unlikely. Like, I've never had it come up. I more or less just use it for the spell and trap searching. Also run 2 Ghostrick Alucard. You detach 1 material from this card to target a set card your opponent controls, destroy that target. So it's a little bit of a disruption. Well, not a quick effect, but during your setting a lot of your opponent's cards face down, this will definitely get rid of them. Also run the 2 Ghostrick Dullahan. You detach 1 XYZ material from this card, then target face-up monster on the field, have its attack until the end phase. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 other Ghostrick card in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. So a little bit of recursion, but not really the best of the Ghostricks. I also run the 1 Succubus. Once per turn, you detach material from this card, target a monster on the field with attack less than or equal to the combined attack of all Ghostrick monsters on the field. Destroy it, and if you do, that monster card zone cannot be used as long as you control a Ghostrick monster. So this can, in a way, kind of limit your opponent's plays quite a lot, depending on how many times you activate the effect. Also run the 1 Assure King, just a good rank 3 that we can go into, as well as the 1 Downer Magician. Also run a Utopic Future, Draco Future, and lastly, the 1 Divine Arsenal Zeus. So what do you think of Ghostrick? Think it's a pretty cool deck profile? Do you think it's got potential? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next video I make. Bye.